Hello everyone, welcome back to JB's lecture. This is Jui Bhattacharya and in today's video I will discuss about the probable questions or the previous year's questions from the Dolphins. Okay, so I have already described the very summary of the poem The Dolphins line by line in my previous two videos posted in my channel. So if you would like to watch my videos, you can definitely visit my channel's previous videos, and over there you can get line by line explanation of almost every chapter which I posted earlier. Okay, so today without delay I would like to start this particular video, which is going to be a very important one for the students who are going to sit for the examinations. These questions came in the previous years of ISCboard. Okay, so let us start. The dolphin's captivity shows the importance of freedom. Explain. Now, this particular poem is about, you can say, about the very importance of freedom only. Yes, Carol Ann Duffy, she is a writer. Right now, she is a very renowned poet who is also a wild animal lover. Carol Ann Duffy's poem, The Dolphins, what does the very particular poem show? The particular poem manifests the very importance of freedom, okay, especially of the animals, or of the wild animals whom we do use to entertain people or to earn money. Okay, this particular poem is definitely a medium through which the poet wants to show or wants to demonstrate the very fact that freedom is important to each and everyone. It is important not merely to human beings but also to others, okay, other animals. And just like the society of human beings, other animals do have their own society, okay, where they do belong to. And if we want to snatch them away from that society, we are actually doing something against the natural process. Okay, and here the same thing actually has happened, because you can understand reading the poem that the dolphin who is speaking, actually the dolphins can never ever speak. Actually the poet is speaking, but here it is showing that the dolphin is speaking, and the dolphin is actually sharing his or her, you can say, thoughts, monotony, you can say the very how much deplorable condition they are right now, and everything which is reflecting their the very negativity that they are nurturing within their mind. And definitely that is also having a reason. Without reason they are not doing anything. There are reasons, and that is why they are saying so. Okay, so this particular poem, The Dolphins, actually shows that captivity is very you can say painful, not merely to human beings but to every other animal, especially those belong to somewhere very big. Okay, all of a sudden they have come to a very small world. Here the dolphins actually are facing the same problem, because they once upon a time they were the citizens, you can say, or they actually used to be, they are in the oceans, in the seas, but right now they are captivated. Right now they are confined within the very small area of a swimming pool, or of any other water bodies, any lake or something, which is really nothing to the ocean in respect of size. Okay, so that is how the dolphins are right now captivated. They are actually behaving, following the very gestures. They are behaving the way the human beings are wanting them to behave. They are following the pre-decided rules and regulations, and the gestures that the man here, the man, quote unquote, that particular phrase has been used for several times in order to show that how human beings are actually torturing or using the animals in order to entertain themselves or in order to earn money. So the wild, lifestyle, the very animals have become right now a kind of, a medium of earning money. Okay, and that is a different issue, but if freedom is needed to everyone, there is a right to have freedom of each and every animal throughout the entire world, because just like the human beings, other animals are also the gifts of God. They are also the creatures created by God. Understood? So that is how this particular poem, the dolphins or the dolphins captivity, the very state of captivity, shows the importance of freedom. Okay, without this particular thing, we people, or you can say the other animals, also get suffocated. And through the continuous suffocation, through the continuous claustrophobic situation where they are right now belonging to, they can die any day, any moment. Okay, now let us come to question number 2. The Dolphins by Carol and Duffy is a dramatic monologue discussed. Now, what is a monologue? Let me first explain that what is a monologue. Monologue is, you can see the particular time mono. Okay, mono plus log. So here you can say dialogue, monologue. When dialogue appears, when there is a conversation in between two people, then dialogue appears. When there is a conversation between 3, 4 people, then there are coming the dialogues. But when comes monologue, when a person is talking to himself or herself only, you being the audience or you being a reader can understand that. Suppose you have visited a theater hall. Over there a theater is going on, you are sitting on the seats of the audience, and you are watching that one character is appearing in front of you and talking to himself or herself, okay, mentioning others or mentioning his or her own situation. That is somehow he or she is thinking within himself or herself, that we do, that actually we do in our daily life, right? So that is actually called a monologue. Now, The Dolphins by Carol and Duffy is a dramatic monologue. Why? Because here in this poem you can see that most of the lines are not following the very rhyming scheme, and it is also having a kind of prose type of pattern, where the entire situation is narrated but through a shape of a poem. That is the thing. And monologue, because here the dolphin is talking to himself or herself only. The dolphin is actually stating his or her own situation and other dolphin situation. But actually the poet only is talking to us, and the poet only is explaining the very condition of the animals, being a medium only, or using the poem, the very structure of poem or literature, you can say, as a medium. So definitely the dolphins is a wonderfully successful representation, or you can say a presentation of a dramatic monologue. Now, let me come to question number 3. What message does the poet convey through the poem? So definitely the message that the poet wants to convey through the poem, there are a lot of messages. The first one is freedom is necessary to each and everyone. It is not the fact that the human beings only need freedom, independence, and the other animals do not need. Actually, we should treat each and every creature as individual, and as an individual creature they do have their own necessities, and we should respect that. We should always respect the natural process. We should not at all go beyond that, because we all are belonging to a nature. If we take care of the nature, nature will take care of us. If we take care the very normal natural process of nature, nature also will take care of us. And that is the very simple equation. Being human beings, we should never ever think ourselves to be the superior creatures. who can dominate the entire nature or the entire society. And we should not at all think that being a human being we can demean other animal, because we always should be aware of such animals or such power of animals, which is called a defense power. Right now here the dolphins are very sad mood. They are actually belonging to a monotonous situation where they are lacking their willpower, you can say. They are lacking their power, you can say. That is why they are not revolting right now. But animals do revolt, and they can revolt, and when they do start revolting, human beings will become all helpless. Okay, so the first thing is that we should not go beyond the natural process. The first and foremost point is that independence. Each and every one should have this particular right. Okay, no one has the very right to snatch away the very basic right of having independence. Second point is that we should not go beyond the natural process. Third point is that you can say wildlife should be restored. Okay, wildlife should be restored, animals should be safe, they should have their own society where human beings will not go, human beings will not disturb them. Just like the animals, they do not come inside the society of human beings and disturb us. Sometimes when they come, we do beat them, and we do just destroy their lives. But when we visit their society, we should actually expect the very same thing from them, because when they come inside our society, when an elephant comes all of a sudden, when a tiger comes, when a lion comes, eating people, eating flesh, that is a very natural instinct of an animal, of a carnivorous animal. I'm not talking about the dolphins here. Carnivorous animal, they will do the thing. Understood? And anyhow, their own privacy, their own independence, okay, their own society is getting corrupted by the human beings. That is why they have come out. But when they do come out, we cannot tolerate that. We do destroy their lives. That's what we do. Okay, we should not do that. We should always restore the very wildlife, because that is the heritage, and we should take care of them as well. Then definitely the same thing we will receive from them. Okay, so these are some points which this particular poem demonstrates, or the poet wants to demonstrate. Now let us go to question number 4. How does the dolphin describe the world of thraldom? Now, what is the very meaning of thraldom? Thraldom is the very state of bondage. Thraldom means the very state of bondage, okay, or the state of slavery. Now, here the dolphins are actually belonging to the world of thraldom, because they have become the very slaves of human beings. That is why the very particular phrase, the man, has been used for several times, because they are actually working following the very gesture of that particular man, quote unquote. And that is why they are not at all living in peace. They have become all disturbed, okay, because they are behaving against their own nature. Understood? And each and every way they are tortured, because first of all they have come here within the very small lake, and within the very small lake from the oceans. That is the very first step of torture. Then they are actually forced to behave according to the gestures of the man. When he is whistling, they have to come. When he is whistling, they have to go back. They have to drive inside the very circles or something like that. They have to play with the balls and everything. They have to entertain people. That's what they need to do. And what is the very purpose behind that? That is nothing but earning money. Okay, so definitely the world is a world of thraldom to them. Okay, slavery, a world of captivation, a world of confinement, and a world of bondage to them. Now let us move to question number 5. What is the constant flowing of guilt according to Duffy? Constant flowing of guilt. Now here, who are guilty? Who are guilty? According to the poet, actually the dolphins are guilty over here, because first of all, the very first point is that they are actually belonging to the world of reminiscences. What does reminiscence mean? I already described this particular term in my previous video, because in this particular poem the term has a huge contribution, because reminisce, that means to memorize the previous good golden moments. Okay, the previous good and golden moments, that is what we can say reminisce mean. And reminiscence, that is the very noun form of reminisce, that means the very positive situation, the very positivity, you can say. That is what actually we can say reminiscence. Okay, so now you see the constant flowing of guilt according to Duffy. Here the very constant flowing of guilt that is actually going inside the very dolphins, because they know that they are tortured, because they know that they are not doing anything to move from that particular small water body to the ocean. They are not revolting. The second point is that here I have already described that they are forced to behave the man is wanting them to behave. That is the very second point, and they are doing the same. They are not at all revolting against the very process. They are not at all deciding that yes, from this moment we will not do this. We will not at all behave in the particular way, because we are the means of earning money. So the man will never ever kill us. Okay, so we will not at all do what he is wanting. Now the last point is very important point, that is what the poet actually is speaking, that we all are guilty, we all should be guilty, we all should have the very particular guilt feeling, that we are exploiting the very wildlife, we are exploiting the privacy of wildlife, the very freedom or the independence that they should have. We are also exploiting that. We are also exploiting the very rights, the basic rights. Okay, we are snatching away the basic rights from those animals, and that is what we should never ever do. So that is how constant flowing of guilt justifies the very messages the poem is representing. So now let us end this particular video by discussing question number 6. The Dolphins by Carroll is a protest against speciesism. Discuss. What is speciesism? Speciesism is actually related to species. Okay, it is actually a prejudice against individuals based on their species. So we all have heard about the term racism, just like which is related to race, just like that speciesism, which is related to different species. So from where this term has come, you can say that human beings think themselves to be the superior species. Now that is not the incorrect one. That is really correct, and that is the right thing. Human beings do have the power of doing everything. They can mold a situation, a society, but in two different ways. First one is in a positive way, second one is in a negative way. The way they are cutting forests right now, destructing the forests in order to make shopping malls, in order to make complex houses and everything, the way they are destroying the fields of playing, okay, the way they are destroying the forests in order to spread their own society, that is not something happening to provide a positive side to all of us. Okay, initially we can say that yes, something is happening, urbanization is going on, but the more they will do so, the more we will become the very victims of the natural calamities, okay, of the unexpected natural calamities, of the unexpected you can say temperature, high temperature, global warming and everything, flood, earthquake and everything. But actually this is not at all doing any good to us. This is actually affecting our lifestyle in a very negative way. That is how the Dolphins by Carroll is a protest against speciesism. This particular speech, you can say, or this particular sentence is so much justified in this particular poem or through this particular poem, because here the poet Carol Ann Duffy wants to spread a tone of awareness among everyone, among the society, human society. She wants to say that we should not at all interfere in the very lifestyle, or you can say the very society of animals, or the very animal society rather. We should not at all irritate them. Okay, so that is the very thing, that we should not at all behave like the superior species of the world. We should not at all show or manifest our superiority over them in different ways. Understood? We should not at all torture them. We should not at all demean them. Each and every way Carol and Duffy represents or mirrors her own feelings, which is actually quote unquote a tone of awareness among the human beings. So that is how this particular poem by Carol and Duffy is a protest against speciesism, that, or against the very prejudice related to species, that actually uh, justifies the very message that this particular poem is spreading. Okay, so these are the six most important topics or the questions which may come in your exams. Apart from that, definitely go for each and every line's explanation, because we all know that RTC comes, okay, reference to the context that comes, and when you are going to write the answers, don't forget to quote a few lines related to the question, because you all know that whenever you are quoting some lines from a poem or from a prose when you are writing the answer, then we the examiners feel very good. We the examiners think that yes, the student has learned this poem or the prose. Okay, so that is a trick that you should follow. Okay, so over here I am completing this particular video. Don't forget to comment below, and definitely if you people are having some queries, don't forget to write them in the comment section. I will definitely try to discuss. Okay, so see you soon through our next video. Bye.